She's gonna be playing with that toy the whole time. It's finally time to install the cabinets. We are, oh my god, Callie, relax. So we've got the whole Ikea kitchen. We've got a few different sizes of cabinets that we're using. We had to cut this one out, like you can see down there.
Yeah, to fit over this step because there's a stairway going alongside this.
Just go watch the previous video, we explain why. But we've got all these ready to go. They're already cut out. We do have to still put a few holes in some of the cabinets. Sorry about Callie making all that noise. She's a puppy. Alright, let's just put them on and let's see how everything fits. I also went ahead and ran the wiring for the cooktop into that little cavity where the fridge goes. So we're gonna put another hole wherever we decide to put the cooktop, so we don't have to run. So we don't have to keep making more holes. We'll just do one through the cabinet and through the wall.
Yeah, so the fridge goes right here, and that's where he ran the wiring right there. Going in for the final time.
Yeah. Alright, let's put the other one in, and then we'll decide how we want to move it around. So on this one, we can't actually install any legs or anything because there's no space for it. But it's very supportive from this, and it's sitting on the rail, so it should be fine. There's going to be a little cover that goes on the bottom of this to put like the same color as the cabinet on this step, and that way everything will look uniform. I'm going to need your help on this other one.
So this one right here is a 30-inch, and this is where our cooktop will be on.
I should probably scoot it over some more. I think that the cover that goes on this to make it black, do we know how big it is?
Yes, it should be the same thickness.
Are you sure?
Yes, because the doors are that thickness.
So what's it attached to though? Does it screw in? Does it glue on?
I don't think you screw it on because, like, you're going to see the, you know.
The screws, so it has to be glued on? Well, luckily we can move these around still.
Yeah, and we are going to have a gap on this side because the only sizes that IKEA has is 15 and the next up is in 18, and that wouldn't fit there, so I mean it's fine.
But I mean we're gonna have the
counter.
The counter goes. There's gonna be a little bit of gap with the counter too, because we just got a butcher block, and the butcher block comes in like 12-foot size, and that will be pretty much perfect. This is 49 inches, but we had 8 feet on that side. And the remainder is only 48 inches, so it's going to be an inch gap on that side as well. Which that's not too bad. I mean, we'll put something to seal it, or some kind of trim or something, or we might just leave it open and just have something that way nothing, like no dirt and stuff goes in that gap. Alright, you want to put the countertop on here next, and then let's see where we're going to make the cutout for the cooktop. Here, grab this side. Put it on the rail, that corner on the rail, yeah. Bam! We got a really good deal on this butcher block because they were discontinuing the whole item. We got it from Floor and Decor. But this one we got, I think the whole 12-foot block we got for, it was like 400, right around there, and then we actually cut it ourselves and everything. Now we're going to put the cooktop on and make that template so we can cut that out. Alright, how do you want it and where do you want it? Do you want it at the edge, center of the 30?
No, center of the width-wise.
So you want a wood overlay right here?
What do you think?
I don't know, how do they usually have? So, I mean, we're not going to cut out to the edge. We're going to cut out to this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will have more counter space if I put it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we put all of the cabinets in, we thought it would be a great idea to put all the countertops on. So this countertop, we had already cut it to size to the exact opening of what the walls would be for the cabinets. And we didn't take into account that the walls were going to be a little bit wavy, so it was a really, really tight fit. It just didn't fit right. We tried to put it in. We even scratched up the walls while doing so. And then ultimately, we just took off the whole countertop so we can shave it a little bit more. And then we finally slid it into place.
Slide yours in more? Yours in more?
Yes.
Yours in?
Bam.
Oh shit.
Now with both of the countertops in their final resting place, we had to cut out some holes. So I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this hole for the cooktop. So I just thought about it and I decided to drill a couple of holes and just go at it with the jigsaw. And the jigsaw we had wasn't the best. Also the blade wasn't that great either. But we got the job done. And I mean, I could have used a circular saw, but it would have just been hard for me to control it, especially since the hole is not like starting at the edge. It's like in the middle of that whole countertop. But we got it done and it looks great. So the thing with butcher block countertops is they are a great deal, but they do not come finished. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of cracks, some pitting, and all of that as well. And we also have to sand them before we can refinish them. So here you can see Selena's just filling in some of the cracks and some of the pits with some wood glue, and then we'll just sand it back before we seal it. One of the best parts of this whole renovation has been all the family that's been helping us. It's really fun to do stuff, you know, like this when there's a lot of people with you, especially your family. So this is Selena's brother who's helping us sand, and we all hate sanding. So luckily we had extra help that can help us do this before we seal it with this butcher block sealer. So the butcher block sealer that we use is made by Watco. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it just waterproofs it and just keeps preserving the wood itself, keeps it, you know, I guess moisturized, I guess, and that way it doesn't warp and it doesn't just start splintering or cracking. Now we are at the home stretch. Just a lot of the finishing touches are remaining. A lot of the stuff we're not really going to show on this video because we want to save some stuff for the final reveal of the whole kitchen. But as you can see right here, I went ahead and started putting the drawers, the cabinet doors, as well as the drawer pulls in. And we also went ahead and got the sink in after we sealed the rest of the countertops.
Here goes the faucet hole.
Before we had this contraption, there was a bunch of other stuff going on. We don't know where this is coming from, but we're still gonna tie it into this. There were two different like P-traps. There was a Y fitting coming, or yeah, a Y fitting coming off of this, which is an actual drain. And there was just a bunch of stuff that didn't need to be there. At least so we thought. We're gonna find out here in a little bit. But then what I did was I just went and got all new stuff. One trap. So this is for like a disposal. like a waste disposal, and that's why it has an extra fitting right here. And what it will do is it won't allow any of this drain water to go back up into it, but if there's something that's going into this, it'll still let it drain through this P-trap. So that's why we have this. I had cut that, put a different fitting on it, and we're just going to put like a normal hose that goes for a disposal to that, and we should be good. And this is just the whole Ikea drain system. We're not going to have a disposal on this just because we don't have enough space.
Because our trash can is still going to somehow fit in here. So yeah.
Somehow. We're about to find out here in a little bit. I like this plumbing stuff a lot. Like, plumbing seems to be fun, except there's a lot that can go wrong. Especially if you don't look after it. So with me being as, you know, anal about it as I am, I'll be checking it like once a week to make sure there's no water dripping anywhere and everything is good.
So here's an update. He broke off that little hose he was talking about that he doesn't know why it's there. So it's in that hole. He just went in the attic to see what it is.
Okay, I think I found it. Can you check if it's moving? Just kneel down and look.
So what was it?
It used to be hooked up for the AC water, to drain, but once they replaced the whole AC unit, they just made the drain go out. You ready for the first test?
Ooh. Water. Now we're moving to our first drawer pull. And he's peeling off the protector. Looks good to me. But right now we are laying out the floor, the kitchen floor. This is a vinyl tile looking floor. And yeah, it's pretty much waterproof. We wanted something waterproof for the kitchen. And we laid it out right now, trying to see how it's all going to fit. Since we only bought one box, it comes with 10 tiles only. So
it's expensive.
It's really expensive. This was like 150.
Yeah, 140 bucks for the one box.
Yeah. So we're just going to run up the floor up to there. And yeah.
So here we are doing the last things on this video, which is putting this floor in. So we really didn't want to show, like, you know, the full rest of the finishing touches, because we're going to save some of that stuff for the final reveal, which you guys will see in our next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, leave comments down below, and we will see you guys in our next video, which will be that final reveal.